To Ghana and bring in Francisca Kakra Forson, who joins us from Accra. Welcome to the programme. Tell us about these first COVAX vaccines. Where will they go now and who will get them first?
So what the government has done this morning is to put out a press statement to give some information about where they'll be going. We understand that these vaccines will be going to 3 regions, the Ashanti region, the Greater Accra region, and the central region. Now, it's not clear the reasons, but from the statistics or the number of cases that have been recorded, it will make sense why Greater Accra region and Ashanti region are part of this list, because these are the 2 regions with the highest cases. The distribution the government announced is segmented or segments the population into a number of groups. So they're going to be looking at health workers. They are top on the list. And then we're going to look at senior citizens as well, people with underlying conditions, for instance, diabetes. Such people whose records will be at the hospitals will be known. And the government plans to work with the hospitals and other health facilities across the country. Also, another segment is frontline persons of the 3 arms of the government. So given that there's COVID, the country is still running, and so the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, as well as their related staff, are still working, and so they're also on this list. Two more from this list is the frontline security personnel. A few weeks ago, the president directed the Inspector General of Police to ensure that people are wearing their masks. This is in line with an LI that was passed. And so it is compulsory for you to wear your mask. And so you find that the security personnel will be coming into direct contact with citizens in such instances. There are other instances which make them relevant in this group. And then the final group is religious leaders, essential workers, teachers, and other personalities. I must note that teachers are important because in January this year, schools reopened. And so it will be important to start off with the teachers. What we know is that children and pregnant women, for now, are excluded until the scientists, can give us the go-ahead. They are excluded for now.
Okay. And tell us, Francisca, how has Ghana been coping with the pandemic? You just mentioned schools reopened at the beginning of the year.
Yes, it's been very difficult. I'll take families. Families have struggled a lot because they had to stay with their children, and it became a lot of burden. They weren't also particularly excited when the government announced the schools to be reopened, because there were concerns of infections and monitoring and supervising children. That's notwithstanding, that has happened. And the schools put out rigorous protocols to ensure that the children are properly monitored and they adhere to the safety protocols. The Ghana Medical Association, for instance, has described the current situation as dire. Although this week, we understand from the Ghana Health Service that the cases are increasing at a rather lower pace. So the cases in Ghana, for instance, are averaging around 500 cases, new cases. For instance, this week, we have about 480 cases that have been recorded. And the deaths this month have gone up, and that sort of raised alarm. In the hospitals, when you go, the hospitals are trying to manage, and so they are turning, for instance, consulting rooms into treatment centers, and there's a drain or there's a strain on the staff at the hospital. So you have health workers, when you interact with them, they do sometimes complain that their shifts are, tighter and harder now.
That's a common concern we've heard in many other countries in the world. Great to get an update on the situation in Ghana. Thank you so much, Francisca Kakra Forson, live from Accra.